On the morning of April 7th, Korean social media witnessed a familiar yet ever-explosive phenomenon, an unconfirmed dating rumor powerful enough to dominate headlines within hours. This time, the spotlight fell on Shin Se Kyung, once labeled the expressionless beauty from Jia Din Ma So Won, and Jin, the eldest member of BTS, a global act with one of the most influential fandoms in the world. But this is more than just a dating rumor. It is a compelling case study of how K-pop operates today, where the line between fact, speculation, and collective belief is increasingly blurred. When evidence is built on emotional fragments. The rumor originated from seemingly trivial details, matching items, an unspecified gift, Shin Se Kyung's appearance at Jin's concert, and their past collaboration in the music video Don't Say You Love Me. Within fandom logic, these fragments were quickly assembled into a coherent narrative. The problem? There has been no official confirmation. This highlights a defining feature of modern K-pop culture. Audiences are no longer passive consumers of information, they actively construct narratives. A candid photo, a coincidental detail, or even a piece of merchandise can be elevated into evidence in a massive court of public opinion. Public reaction, a subtle but significant shift. Unlike previous cases, the response towards Shin Se Kyung has been relatively mild. There is no widespread backlash or organized hate campaign. Instead, the reaction feels conditionally accepting. Why? The answer lies in status. Shin Se Kyung is not an unknown figure. She is a veteran actress with over a decade in the industry, a recognizable face with an extensive filmography. In the public eye, she is seen as a suitable match for Jin, an important psychological factor in fandom acceptance. This suggests a notable shift. Fandoms are becoming more pragmatic. Rather than rejecting all relationships outright, they increasingly evaluate compatibility in terms of fame, image, and social standing. The shadow of the past and the cycle of prejudice. However, Shin Se Kyung's story cannot be separated from her controversial dating history. Her relationship with Kim Jong-hyun in 2010 marked a turning point, not because of the romance itself, but because of the public's reaction. Intense backlash from fans led to a swift breakup, leaving a lasting imprint on her public image. Since then, although she has not publicly confirmed any relationships, she has repeatedly been entangled in rumors, from Nam Joo-hyuk to now Jin. The common denominator? A lack of concrete evidence, but an abundance of speculation. Her consistent silence, whether strategic or personal, has created an information vacuum. And in the age of social media, such vacuums are inevitably filled with assumptions and exaggerations. Jin, BTS, and the invisible pressure of perfection. For Jin, the narrative carries a different weight. As a member of BTS under HYBE, he is not just an artist but a symbol. His image is carefully curated around ideals of perfection, visuals, personality, and a clean personal life. Thus, any dating rumor impacts not only Jin as an individual but the entire ecosystem surrounding BTS, from fandom dynamics to brand partnerships and commercial value. This explains why, even without confirmation, the story has exploded. It touches a sensitive nerve within the fandom, the fear of losing an idealized image. When private life is no longer private. Perhaps the most thought-provoking question is this: why can an unverified rumor dominate the media landscape? Because in K-pop, private life has never truly been private. Every relationship, real or rumored, becomes part of an artist's personal brand. And when that brand belongs to figures like Jin or Shin Se Kyung, it inevitably turns into public property. The result? A familiar cycle: rumor, debate, prejudice, silence, new rumor. Conclusion: truth is no longer the most important factor. At this point, the least important question may be whether Jin and Shin Se Kyung are actually dating. What matters more is how this story reflects the mechanics of modern entertainment, where information does not need verification to spread, and collective emotion can shape truth. This rumor will eventually fade, like countless others before it. But what remains, public reaction, media framing, and the artist's silence, is far more revealing. Because in K-pop, sometimes the story is not about what actually happened, but about what people choose to believe happened.